You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
Three numbers before the open. KOSPI closed 7,730.82, down 4.52%. Foreign net selling 2.7728 trillion won, 23rd consecutive session. KOSPI 88.35, still near its all-time high set yesterday. Samsung Electronics fell 6.06%. SK Hynix dropped 7.54%. Both are holding the 300,000 won and 2 million won psychological levels respectively. But the margin is thin. The $1 rate closed at 1,524.20, 17 consecutive sessions above 1,500. It's Thursday, June 11th. Here's what today's story could mean for the Korean market. The Sidecar count tells the story. This month alone, 7 trading sessions. The main board triggered 5 sidecars and 1 circuit breaker. Year-to-date, total mainboard sidecar activations stand at 24. The previous record was 26 in all of 2008. KOSDAQ has triggered 13 sidecars this year. The 3-session swing, minus 5.54%, minus 8.29%, plus 8.18%, minus 4.52%. That is not a directional market. That is a market with no consensus. Here's what the numbers show. Foreigners net sold 2.7728 trillion won, approximately 1.82 billion US dollars, on the KOSPI today. Institutions net sold 2.267 trillion won. Retail investors absorbed 4.862 trillion won in net purchases, roughly $3.19 billion, acting as the single buyer of last resort. Margin loan balance as of June 9th, 37.929 trillion won, approximately $24.9 billion. Forced liquidation on June 9th, 169.8 billion won, highest since October 18, 2023. 3-session total forced liquidation, 475.1 billion won, approximately $311 million. The AA-3-year corporate bond yield hit 4.499%, the highest since the second half of 2023 when U.S. rate hike fears were at their peak. The 1-year bank bond rate rose 0.163 percentage points in the past week to 3.616%. Several major corporations are now considering repaying maturing bonds with cash rather than rolling them over at current rates. The $1 rate closed at 1,524.201. Korea's Ministry of Economy and Finance is sending its senior international affairs official to Washington on June 12th for emergency FX stability talks with the U.S. Treasury. The bilateral U.S. investment vehicle, the Korea-U.S. Strategic Investment Corporation, is due to launch June 18th. Executing $20 billion annually in U.S. investment at current FX levels would itself create dollar demand pressure, which is part of why Washington talks are now urgent. SpaceX IPO pricing is acting as an FX catalyst in the opposite direction. Reuters reported that Korean retail demand for dollars to participate in the SpaceX IPO is now tapering, which may reduce short-term won depreciation pressure. So what does this mean for stock investors watching specific Korean names? Earlier, we noted that KOSPI hit an all-time high of 91.23 yesterday, exceeding the 2008 crisis peak, and is still at 88.35 today. That level of implied volatility means options pricing is extremely expensive, and momentum strategies are unreliable. The key variable for directional resolution remains the US CPI print and the FOMC. Analysts at Hyundai Motor Securities said fundamental deterioration has not been confirmed and described the market as still being in a momentum-driven regime. For names like Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix, the technical levels at 300,000 won and 2 million won respectively are the nearest structural supports. A sustained close below either would likely trigger additional forced selling from leveraged ETF holders. What to watch? 1. US May CPI, due today Korean time. A result above consensus 4.2% would materially increase FOMC rate hike probability and push KOSPI lower. 2. June 12th. Washington FX talks. Any announcement approaching currency swap language would be one positive and provide KOSPI support. 3. SpaceX first-day trading volume and price discovery timing. The IPO begins NASDAQ regular session at 10:30 a.m. Eastern on June 12th, but first trades are expected after midnight Korean time. Retail-driven dollar demand unwind could support the won intraday. That's today's AI Prism stock investors. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a Won IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.